but we can pretend. Hi guys, it's Jenna from the Teen Library Department at South Brunswick Public Library. I was trying to think of an idea that you could do with your friends to try something different and still stay connected. So I was thinking it might be fun to have a virtual high tea or afternoon tea party. You can set up with your friends, you can get dressed up if you want, you can see whatever kind of foods you have. I've been to a couple and they always include kind of some cute little sandwiches, little desserts, but the one constant is always scones. So I thought I would show you a simple recipe for making scones. I have one right here that I made. So I'll show you how to do that, and then you can make scones if you want, have tea, whatever you have around. If you don't have some of the ingredients, that's okay. You can kind of switch it up a little bit. You will need the oven for this recipe, so just make sure that you have permission to use the kitchen and the oven with your parents before you get started. And I'll post the entire recipe and instructions in the comment section, so if you that will be there for you. All right, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is set your oven to 400. So press bake, set it to 400, press start. Your oven might be a little bit different, but you'll just want to preheat it to 400 before you get started. The next thing you want to do is lightly grease your baking sheet ahead of time so it's ready to go after our batter is done. So I'm just using a little bit of sand, spraying that lightly, and then we'll just put that off to the side until we're ready to bake it. You can pop that in the microwave just for a few seconds so it melts a little bit, make it easier for us to stir later. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take 3 cups of our flour. So take your 1 cup measuring scoop, measure out 3 cups. Try to make it as level as possible. That's 1. That's 2. You can also level it out a little bit using either a knife or a spoon. Nice and level. That's 2. Level it off. Make a mess. Okay, that's 3. Now we'll take our sugar. We want half a cup of sugar, so take your half measuring cup. Put that in there. Put more sugar out of the way. More flour out of the way. Okay, now we want half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of salt, and then we want 2.5 teaspoons of baking soda. Make sure you're using teaspoons and not tablespoons. Tablespoons are bigger, and we definitely don't want tablespoons full of baking powder because it will make our scones taste terrible. So we want 2.5 of these. So I have my 1 teaspoon holder. Nice thing about the baking powder is that it gives you a little level right on there. So we want 1, 2. Then we take our half teaspoon. Put that in there. Close that up. And then we'll just want to whisk it. Make sure we really get it all nice and mixed up, because we don't want all that baking powder to get in a clump, because that's when you take a bite and it tastes terrible. So just make sure that you're really mixing it up. Good. Okay, now we're ready for our wet ingredients. We have a small bowl here. We're actually going to crack this egg into the 1 cup measuring cup before we put it in there. Try not to get any eggshells in there. Let's do a little check to make sure it looks pretty good. Okay, I could throw that away right away. I always wash my hands right after using eggs, so you don't have to worry about any salmonella getting anywhere. Just good hygiene. I know we're used to washing our hands about 10,000 times a day. Anyways. Okay, and then we're gonna pour milk till the rest. So we want 1 full cup of liquid. So you can just put the milk right on top of your egg. I only have skim milk. Heavier milk's gonna give you a little bit of a better consistency. So if you have something other than skim, I would recommend using that. But I don't have anything else, so this is what we're using. Now we can just whisk that up. Side. Now we can take our butter, which is basically liquidy now. May have melted it a little too much. We'll see when we actually start mixing it how the consistency is, but you probably want it to be a little thicker, not so much of a liquid, so maybe do it like 20 seconds instead, but we'll see how it goes. And then we'll mix that up again. All right, now we're just gonna start adding in our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. Mixing that all up. Should be fairly thick. Scones tend to have a little bit of a thicker consistency than some other batters. They tend to be a little drier. It's okay, flour's getting everywhere. Okay. After our batter is all mixed up, here's where you can add anything that you want. If you wanted to make a specific kind of scone, like if you wanted to throw some chocolate chips in, you could. If you wanted to throw some nuts in there, you could do some chopped pecans or raisins, or if you just wanted it to be plain, that's fine too. It's still gonna taste good. I'm gonna actually just put a tiny bit of cinnamon in mine. Sprinkle a little cinnamon, and then I'm just gonna put 1 teaspoon of vanilla to kind of give it a cinnamon flavor. You can mix that all together, and then we're just gonna lay it out on our pan, which has already been greased. So we can mix that up a little bit more. Give it a nice little brown swirl color in there. And we're ready to go. Okay, and then I've just taken it and poured it onto our greased pan, kind of flattened it out. You can use your hands to kind of push it out into a little circle. So it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but that's basically the shape that we want. And then we're just gonna slice it almost like a little pizza into triangles. And cut it as I would a pizza into each different slices, and then just push them out to the side a little bit so they'll have a little more room to cook. And now we will pop them in the oven for 15 minutes and we'll see what they look like when they come out. Stay tuned. There you have it. Little scones for your high tea. Hope you enjoy them.